Hi everybody, this is Judy Bosworth, your town supervisor, and welcome to our virtual FunDay Monday series. In an effort to make sure that our residents stay safe this summer, we're adhering to strict social distancing guidelines, and even our FunDay Monday series has gone virtual. Our 2020 series might look a little different than it did last year, but we certainly hope that you'll continue to join us each week because there'll be new and exciting things each Monday. FunDay Monday has grown to be a tradition for so many of our senior citizens, and I know I look forward to our FunDay Mondays every year. With hundreds of seniors attending, we knew that once the pandemic hit, we wanted to continue to host our weekly events, but we needed to develop a plan where we could do this while making sure that our residents stayed safe. So I, along with our town board, worked closely with our Department of Community Services to develop some new and interesting programming for you. Throughout the summer, we will be providing our residents, you, with engaging and fun entertainment every Monday. You'll get to hear from our town board, our town clerk and receiver of taxes about their favorite FunDay Monday memories. We'll have exercise classes, we'll have workshops to tours of hidden gems in North Hempstead. There'll be something for everyone with our virtual FunDay Monday. I hope that you'll join us each week. Today, Councilmember Veronica Lurvy will be joining us to talk about her favorite FunDay Monday memories. And for those artists out there, we have an art workshop and yoga class. So let's get this FunDay Monday started.
Hello and welcome to a walk down FunDay Monday lane. I'm Christina Liu with Project Independence, and my fabulous co-host is the host of our radio program, John Ryan. You can tune in to us every Friday on the radio program from 10 a.m. to noon on 88.1 FM or WCWP.org. But today on our FunDay Monday special, we have the fabulous Councilwoman Lurvy. Thank you for being with us, and I love the hat and the whole summery vibe we have going on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Christina. This is wonderful. I was given the opportunity to pull out my hat.
I love it.
FunDay Monday hat. And I have my favorite FunDay Monday outfit on too.
Perfect. Well, we love that here. So FunDay Monday's been going on for over 35 years. And I want to know, what is your favorite memory of FunDay Monday?
So my favorite memory, I have not been around for 35 years. I hope to be around for the next 35 FunDay Monday years because they are just so much fun and they get better every year. But I think last year, Hometown USA was my favorite FunDay Monday event where we got to thank all the veterans. And there was just such a nice, heartfelt celebration. And the classic cars are,
Absolutely.
a very nice aspect of that. But, every FunDay Monday is great. All the dancing, all the music, meeting everybody face to face, and you can't beat it. You really just can't beat it.
Absolutely. Well said.
I totally agree. But now here's a question that you can give us a much more detailed answer for. What is a favorite summer memory that you have? That's with your children, that's when you were a child, with your grandparents, whatever it is. What's something when you think of summer, you go and say, oh, I remember. What comes to mind?
I remember, it has to go back to my childhood because I've been thinking a lot about my childhood lately because we're in a lockdown, and we're still pretty much in a lockdown. Many of us are not leaving the house except for, emergencies or doctor's visits or whatnot. And so we're being forced to play at home, to stay at home, to do things at home, which really got me thinking too, that's how I grew up. I grew up here on the island, and we would just play around the house. And my brother and I were inseparable, and we would play in the backyard and we would dig. And I remember one of my favorite things to do was to dig a hole through the earth. We thought that we were going to dig. We thought China was on the other side.
I love it. That's right.
Long Island. And so, playing with my brother, I was such a tomboy, and anything to do with the outdoors, riding our bicycles. My mother would be puttering around in her garden, because we have a long history of gardening in our family.
Oh, that's great.
I'm actually sitting outside in my garden,
Nice.
joining you guys today. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's a good story, though. I like that story. In your district, is there anything special going on this summer? I know it's very difficult with the pandemic, so I don't expect you to turn around and say, oh, we have this list of things going on. A lot of this stuff is virtual.
Yeah, a lot of it is not district specific, right? I am loving the virtual Project Independence classes, the Tai Chi and the yoga and the fitness.
Right.
I hope that continues, because, you reach a different audience. People who can't or don't even want to leave home, they can access it virtually, although I do look forward to seeing people face to face. But what I want to encourage people is, we're out walking a lot these days. There's some beautiful parks in my district, from Mary J. Davies in Manhasset, where we have the town has just put out picnic tables. There were some very good reception to that.
Now, what is something that whether it's a hidden passion or a hidden talent that you have that our audience may not know?
Well, it's gardening. And I'll show you. I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to be really crazy, but I'll show you my mint here.
Ooh.
Can you see my mint? And my other gardens
so
and my other herbs.
Oh, that's so, wow, it's so great. I just started dabbling in it, so I have like baby plants.
Oh, well, you know what? Before you know it, they're going to be out of the house.
That's great. Oh, I love it. Well, now we know where to go for some fresh produce,
Oh, absolutely. I can even bring herbs. I can bring all sorts of herbs to you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. We love it. That's
so been doing that for years, Veronica?
Yeah, for years. Okay. I have, when my parents moved back to Europe, and they left me with some of their fruit trees. So the red currants that we picked this year have been in the family for a good 3 decades.
Wow, that's awesome.
I love that. That's amazing.
That's so great.
Yeah.
What a great story. Honestly, it's stories like that. I mean, you don't know about a person, but 3 decades. I just think that's cool no matter who tells that story. And somebody as special as Veronica, that makes it even better.
That's honestly,
right. John, you're so sweet.
Thank you for joining me in this video. So right now I'm going to be showing you how to create this beautiful and simple landscape, but it's all done with lines. All right, I'm going to show you how to create just the general landscape that looks like this, and then how to add the lines to give this beautiful effect. All right, so I am mainly using a black Sharpie for this, but if you do not have one, you may use a pen or a pencil. You can also use a colored marker if you want to add some color to it. All right, I'm just keeping mine black and white to show this really cool effect. Okay, so we're gonna get started first with this very simple curvy line, right, before we do anything else. So I'm gonna be looking back at this just to show you how it should look like, but if yours looks a little bit different, it's okay. We're going to start with this line that I just went over. Okay, so you want to try to find where the center of your paper is, and just go about 1 inch down, and you're going to make a very wavy, but you see how it's wavy and a bit curvy, but you don't want to make a lot of curves, right? Just maybe like 2 or 3 waves. All right? Nothing too wavy. You want to have about 3 or 2 waves for this line. And then after that, I think we will probably do the tree or the mountains. Now I'm drawing in marker, so I'm not able to erase some of my lines, but if you're using a pencil, it would probably be good to start with that, so that way you can erase some of the lines. All right, so with the tree, you kind of want to think like you're drawing like a backwards C. You can also think of like a parentheses a bit. I like to think of drawing a backwards C and a C. So on this side, this is like a really long C, and then on the right side, a backward C that's really elongated, right? So that's going to be kind of like the trunk for the tree. For the branches, I usually do triangles. So you want to make some very, very small triangles, about 3 or 4 of them based on how big your tree is. So I think 4 works for me. And then for the leaves, you want to draw little N's, a lot of them. It's N and U's. So you want to pretend like you're drawing N's. You can also think of just like very small curves that are connected, but I like to think of it as little N's and a lot of little U's. It's similar to drawing a cloud, just a bit more taller. So you can start by creating a N or just a very small curved, and you're going to just create that shape over and over, and you're going to go around the tree. You can make different sizes. You can have some big ones and some larger curves, and you want to continue until you reach the edge of the paper, and in another case until you reach the other line. But this one looks good here. And then, alright, so the next one I'll show you how to do is going to be maybe this mountain. Alright, let's do this mountain. We're doing 2 mountains. For the mountain, you're going to be using just one kind of like geometric line and then some curvy lines. So I'm starting the mountain from where the leaves are. I make a straight line, and then I very gently go down, but I don't make that's a straight line. I make 2 very wavy lines, right? Just 2 waves. Just like that. And then for the other mountain, I'm connecting it to the first one I made. But this one, I'm not going to make a straight line. I'm just going to make it a little bit wavy. If you want, you can make it straight. Kind of like you're doing a hill. Okay? There's no right or wrong way really for the mountain, as long as you have some kind of curves to it. Okay, and then after this one, let's do, maybe we should do a tree first, or the bushes. Okay, we'll do the bushes first. The bushes are similar to the leaves that we did, except these ones, they're all facing down. So it's like drawing a lot of sideways ends, like you're drawing the letter N, but sideways, right? So you want to make these little very tight curves. Make sure that they're all connected and small, and you're going from one side to the other side of the paper, from one edge. And that should be it. That's just to represent some type of a bush that's in front of the tree. Okay, and then we'll probably do the tree behind it. So this tree is behind the bush, and it's the same thing. You're going to be doing a C and a backward C. Of course, a very elongated one, and then you add your triangles, about 3 or 4 triangles based on how big you make the tree. And then for the leaves, you're going to be doing all those little tight curves or like little ends around it. They also could be like a big cloud. You can think like you're making a big cloud around the trunk of the tree. And as you can see, there's a lot of lines that are showing up through the tree. You would be erasing those lines. I'm not going to do that just because I'm using a Sharpie. But any lines that's overlapping, you would be erasing. And then finally, we're going to do this kind of like lake kind of thing. This one, what you want to do is it's a lot of curved lines. So you want to start about a little halfway, and you want to make just a nice curved line. And these lines are going to be going in and out, right? So you're going to push it out and then slowly bring it back in, and then push it back out again, and then bring your material back in, and then a little bit out again, and then back in. Right? So you're making a lot of wavy lines that are going in and out to give this sense of a puddle or like a lake. And the main thing you need to do is connect the whole shape together to get the puddle. You can create another puddle shape if you like. You just want to make sure that it's wavy and curvy lines. Okay, so now you can add some things to the sky if you would like. I'm probably going to add some clouds. For the clouds, it's a lot of small tight curves like little N's and U's. If you want to make a very wide cloud, you would continue that. And then if you want to make a very short, stubby one, you would make the N's and the U's just much closer together. Like this one could be a wider and longer cloud, and the one on the right, it's a little more like closer together or more of a baby cloud. I would recommend to have about 3 clouds for yours, and then we'll probably just add a simple sun to it. So the sun, try to draw as nice of a circle as you can, and then we're just gonna be adding some small, like 1/2 inch straight lines around it, right? Just like that, and you're gonna repeat it all around. Small little lines to give some nice idea of sun rays. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then I think we're gonna add one more little cloud behind the mountain on the right. So this one's gonna be like a little baby cloud, not too big. And it's just the mountain's gonna be overlapping it. And I do feel that the landscape is looking pretty good. And yeah, I think this is where we'll stop. And then we're gonna be starting with the line effects. All right. If you are using colored markers, you can take them out now. I'm just gonna be using the same color. So for this, what you want to do is you want to create, like, follow the line that you already made, and you're gonna reproduce it right below it, right? So the line that was already there, I'm making another line right below it that has the same curvature that the one before it had. And I'm trying to make sure that the lines are the same width apart. Not too close, but not too far. And I'm also going to be moving my hand around a bit. You don't have to make one continuous line. You really want to make sure that your hand is steady for this part, right? So as you can see, I'm making one part of the line, and then I change my hand position to make the curvy part, so that way I can make sure that I'm always seeing where the line is going. Because if I keep my hand like that way, it'll be a little harder to see what curves I'm making. So it's okay to move your hand around to make sure that it's comfortable for whatever position you're doing and for whatever lines you're making. Just make sure that your hands are comfortable, because this is gonna require your hand to be very steady, and you want to make sure that your hands are not hurting. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to get this really cool like 3D effect in a way, and the form of the mountain is looking pretty nice, especially on the right where there's a lot of the curves. You get this sense of like the side of the mountain goes down and then it goes back up. It looks pretty cool. And so as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm making another line before the one I made before, following the same curvature. You're not gonna make up any new lines. You just want to use what you already have as a guideline. All right, that's all we're doing. We're using what's already there to guide us to make another line. So I'm trying really hard to make sure that they're all the same distance, like apart. But sometimes it happens where, the line becomes too close or too far. Don't worry about that. Just keep moving and try to make the next line the distance that you want it to be. Especially if you're using a marker, it's going to be really hard to erase. So just continue with whatever it is you have. Alright, so the first mountain looks pretty good. Just an up-close view of it. It does have a bit of a optical illusion effect, not that much, but just a tiny bit. Okay, so I think we'll probably do the mountain next. Alright, so for the mountain on the right, it's gonna have less curvature to it because the line we made, it's kind of like just a very one big hill, like one big wave. So we're doing the same thing. We're gonna be making, I think I'm gonna try to keep all the lines the same distance. So this one's gonna try to have the same distance as the one on the left. All right. And what I'm doing is I'm following the curvature of the original line and making smaller lines right below it. Be careful of the tree. You want to make sure that your line does not show through the tree. So when you're stopping, be aware of the leaves to make sure that your line stops right where the leaf begins. All right. And then for this one, I actually can do sometimes like a continuous line. And then other times, I just have to change my hand positions a bit. But I think sometimes I'll try to do a continuous one. But this project is pretty nice, and it's really nice to do because it is calming. It is the same thing you're doing over and over, which is probably why it's a bit more calming. So if you want, you can definitely put on some nice music to listen to while you do this. And you can also use this effect / technique on anything, really. You know, if you wanted to draw like a portrait, you could use the same effect on it. If you wanted to draw, you could also try drawing like objects and doing the same effect. Or if you just draw a simple circle and you add that effect on it, it'll be really cool. But this is a nice way to give the idea that of like three-dimensionality with lines, which is pretty cool, because a line is by itself, it's just it's just flat, it's just a line. But we can create this really nice effect of this 3D landscape all with lines, which is very nice. And all you have to do is make lines, nothing else. You just want to have as steady of a hand as you can. Patience. This requires a bit of patience, and make some lines. So wow, the mountain on the right looks really good too. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't make them have the same like curvature. I think having one that was more curvy and one that was less has this really nice effect to it. It's looking pretty good. So next, let's work on this lake. The lake might be a little bit tricky because of how like it has a lot of tight curves. So it might be a bit, as we continue further in, the lines will become a little bit trickier. But for this, you really want to just pay close attention to the curves, because they do make a lot of turns in a way. And I think for this, we're just going to try to keep the same distance like we did for the mountains. I think keeping the same distance, it gives a really nice effect, but you can also experiment with having a variety of distances with the lines and see how that affects it. My opinion is that the closer the lines are, the darker it'll make that part look, and the farther they are, the lighter it is. So you could create like light shadow with the lines. You know, you could experiment with that. That could be really cool. Okay, so now it's gonna start getting a little bit trickier because the lines are kind of just getting closer and closer towards the middle. So I can't have the same curve that the original shape has. But I'm gonna make do with it and just try my best to follow the same curve of the original shape. But I know it's not gonna have it. So you see how it's starting to change? It's not as round as the other ones. This one has like more of a pointy edge a bit, but that's natural. That's gonna happen when the lines get closer to, when the lines get too close to each other. That's gonna happen. Okay, let's see. I think it should be okay. Yeah, it is a little bit pointy. I made them. I probably could have made I think if I had a pencil or like a very, very fine marker, that I could have made them rounder. But this is how it looks like, and I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of just gonna be jumping around from stuff to stuff. So we're gonna do the bushes next. For the bushes, I don't think it should be too tricky. but the only tricky thing could be that the lines are so close to each other, the curves are very tight. So as you get closer towards the edge of the paper, you won't be able to create the same kind of like curvature that the original line. But you really just want to try your best and try to create, like, follow the same pattern and guidelines of the original one. Like the last 3 lines might look a little bit wonky just because it's so close to the edge, but it's okay. And I'm actually really liking so we can see a difference between like how the tight curves look with the bushes and how it looks like with the mountains where the curves are like wider. It's a pretty cool effect. I like it. Okay, let's go to the tree on the left. And for this one, it is similar to the bushes, you know. It has less tight curves, but it still has a lot of more tight curves than the mountains. So I apologize if you can't see much of the lines because my hand is blocking it a bit, but it's the only way I can get my hand positioned to go, so that way I can actually see what I'm making with the lines. Now, if you are using color for yours, you know, like for the tree, you could use green when you're making the lines for the leaves. For the trunk, you could use brown. The lake, you could use blue. So you would want to use the natural colors of what the object usually look like to make those lines, right? So for the sky, you would have had like a light blue. In the sun, a nice yellow. I definitely think adding color to it could make it look really nice. You could add color to some parts and not all the parts, but you can also try a black and white one and see what effects it has, right? Okay, so that's the tree right now. The lines are a little wonky just because the shape got cut off. For the trunk, you can probably make a maximum of 2 curved lines after the original one, only because of how close the original lines are, right? So don't try to make like 4 or 5. You don't need to make a lot for the trunk of the tree. And also it's a bit harder to do the triangles. Okay, so for the clouds, the clouds, you might get like 2 lines. Yeah, probably like 2 lines, just because they're so close and right next to each other that it makes it hard to just do a complete shape. And also the marker that I'm using, it's a bit it's not like fine point, so the lines I'm making are just naturally a bit thicker. If I was using a fine point line, I could create like much smaller lines, but I wanted to use this darker one because I feel like it's a bit bolder. I liked it more. Okay, I think it's gonna also look really nice once we start adding the lines for the background behind the mountains. That'll look really cool. Okay, we're gonna do one more cloud. I think the clouds look really nice with the line effect and everything. But as you can see, the landscape is starting to come together. You know, if you look at it, you can tell that these are mountains, trees. Even though it's all lines put together, the original shape is still standing strong. Okay, I'm trying to decide what I should do next. I think I might just do the big shape around the mountains. Okay, for this line, I'm following, remember the first line we made? The 3 curve line? I'm gonna start with that, right? I'm gonna be using that as the main guide. I'm not starting with the lake, all right? So for this one, I might also make the lines a little bit farther away, only because I don't want this part to be in like main focus. Okay, so you're gonna continue like we've been doing before by making a line below the first one, but following the same curvature. Once we get to like the trees and the bushes, the curvature is gonna change a bit, but for now it's pretty simple because we're just following the main line that we made. Okay, so this is giving like, this is supposed to be the ground in a way. Okay, so try to stick with yeah, don't follow the other lines yet. Just stick with the main line. Okay, that's looking good. And so we're probably gonna now stop here instead of continuing all the way, because we have the lake blocking us a bit. So now you're gonna follow the curvature of the side of the lake if you want, or just make the nice straight lines, right? So that could be two options. Yeah, we'll probably just stick with nice straight lines. And I'm not continuing it right now to the trees, like the side of the trees, because I'm gonna make those side follow a different curvature. That's why. But if you look, it's like the lines, I'm just really loving the effects of the lines. Like, it really does look three-dimensional, you know? And it's cool because it's all made with lines. There's probably some kind of math to this, I don't know. Okay, so at the bottom, you're gonna want to be following the curvature. Okay, let's do this one next. This is what I was saying. For the tree on the left, I'm following the curvature of the trunk and part of the leaves, not the other one we were doing before. Alright, so this line goes vertical while the one we made before went horizontal. I did that just to give some nice contrast. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure that you can create some really cool illusion, like optical illusion effects with this. I mean, I think a lot of optical illusions are created with this idea. It just really depends on the image you're doing. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I'm thinking ahead of what to do with the sky, because there's so much objects there that I have to figure out what line I want to follow. So I'm trying to think ahead of what do I want to do with the sky. I'm not sure yet, but that's why I did the ground first, just to help me see what could like complement the ground a bit. So even though this is, with this drawing you're doing the same thing, it's the same idea you're doing over and over, you do have, choices with which line you want to follow for some parts, how far you want to make the lines, how close you want to make them, if you want to do color. You do have options that you decide on how you're going to make your landscape. Okay, so this is looking very good. That's very nice. I think we have like one more little line at the bottom. Yeah. Okay, and then we just have to do the tree on the right, and then all we're gonna have left is the sky. Wow. Okay, so for the tree on the right, you're gonna be following. All right, let's do the leaves first. I honestly didn't even realize that I didn't do the actual leaves yet, because I guess it actually was pretty cool to see how the tree was just like when we didn't put the lines in, it was a really nice contrast with all the lines like in the other shapes. So another cool idea is maybe you could do some objects or shapes that don't have lines, and then you have like background with the lines to see how it will pop out. That could be really neat, and experiment with that a bit. So I noticed that the trees are a bit tricky to do, just because of, I guess, I don't know, but the lines for the trees, they're always like bigger than everything else, but it's alright. I think it helps them stand out though, since the lines are not as close as like the lines on the mountain and the lake and stuff. Alright. Okay, and then let's do the trunk real quick. So I always start with the side, with the and then I do the triangles. I find that is a bit easier to do. And then, yeah, I usually get about 2 shapes in there, and then that's about it. But it's alright. I try my best. Ooh, this actually, if you look on the right, it creates this nice effect, I don't know what it's called, but like there's a lot of other trees behind it. Okay, for the clouds, for the sky, you do have a lot of options because you could follow the curvature of the leaves, the mountains, the clouds, the sun. So before you start, decide what you want to follow and stick with that. So I'm starting with the leaves and the mountains. I'm starting with that just because I feel like it's easier. And I'm gonna make one long line first, just to help me figure out where I'm going. I think also these lines are going to be a bit farther apart, just so that way, like with the sky, it's naturally lighter and stuff. I kind of want to make that part of the drawing lighter. And remember, to make a part lighter, you would have the lines be farther apart. And to make it like darker, or just give the sense that it's dark, you would put the lines closer to each other. All right. For the sun, I added some extra straight lines for the sun, just so that way, because I'm going to be going around it, but I thought it needed some extra lines. Okay, so, yeah, I'm trying also not to lose the original, like the clouds and stuff. So I want to make sure that the lines that I'm doing, that you can know that this is supposed to be like background and not an actual like object shape. Ooh, the sun looks cool. Yeah, for the sun, I kind of just did a whole big curve around it because it's the lines for the sun rays. They're not like connected, so it was hard to do everything else. But I think it helps it stand out, the way that I did it. It looks pretty good. Okay. I mean, I don't feel that after the sky, that's really about it. And then, yeah. And I think it's like looking really awesome. I'm really happy with how it's coming out, honestly. This is my first time doing this technique, and I thought it was going to be a bit more difficult, but I feel like once I got the idea, it was just like smooth sailing from there and just making a lot of lines. You could also use this to like experiment with different types of lines. There's a lot you can do with this project, or just the technique in general. Okay, so this is like where things get a little bit complicated. So you really have to make some decisions on like the shapes you want to follow, just because there's so many options. Okay, we just have to do a little bit more lines on the right and then probably on the left. Yeah, but as I'm looking, I think it was a good idea, because if like that I had variety in lines, and like the trees, which were like tightly curves, and the mountains, which were very wide wave and curves, because I think if they were all like tight curves or something like that, then it would be hard to find the objects and other shapes and separate them from each other, right? Because right now everything looks pretty clear. Like I can tell where the lake is, where the mountains are, where the tree, the bushes, the sun, the clouds. I can tell where all of that is. And then let's do one more little line, just a tiny one. Okay. All right. I mean, I feel like this could go on like forever. You could just keep adding lines and lines, but I won't do that. But this is the finished product, and I am super happy with it. It looks really good, and I was afraid I would lose the objects, but the objects still pop out, And this is a reminder of where we started with the simple line drawing and where we are now. So thank you everyone for joining me in this video, and I hope you had a really good time working on your art. All right, bye.
welcome to North Hempstead's virtual beach chair yoga. I hope everybody has a nice sturdy chair that we can practice on, one that's not wobbly. Maybe if you kind of move yourself to the edge of the chair, it doesn't tip in any direction. It's gonna hold you nice and sturdy. Best to not have arms on the chair, but if you do and it's a sturdy chair, we'll make do of it. So let's go ahead now and find ourselves nice and comfortable on the chair. If you find your feet aren't touching the earth, either on the balls of the feet or flat, you can always put your feet up on something to give your feet grounding so that the feet are grounded on the earth. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Rebecca and this will be beach chair yoga. So let's get nice and comfortable in the chair. Let's sit with our shoulders stacked over our hips. Crown of the head is reaching up. Feet are nice and grounded. Finding comfort with the feet. You don't want to feel that you're stretching or straining. Let's breathe in and out through the nose. In breaths and out breaths. Bringing in positive energy as you fill up your lungs. And exhale to release and soften the body. On those exhales, I want you to notice how you become nice and balanced in your seat. Trying not to favor one side or the other. Just finding some nice balance in the seat. So let's take a nice full breath in. And a long, slow exhale to release and soften and melt into your chair. I cue breath a lot throughout the class. If I don't cue breath, it doesn't mean that you should ever hold your breath. Just continue with your breaths in and out. Breaths in and out. On those out breaths, I want you to notice the contact that you have with your lower back to the chair, with your seat to the chair, and just kind of make note of that. Be mindful. You may feel yourself tightening up a little bit through the practice. Take in that nice full positive energy breath and exhale and release and soften so the back and seat melts into your chair. Let's bring our arms out to a T right here. So it's a good idea, make sure starting off that you don't have anything in the way. We're gonna turn our palms up, inhale those arms up, and exhale, lowering down all the way. Maybe you're just tapping the edges of the chair, palms up. And turn those palms down, exhale. And one more time, inhale those hands up. Nice. Let's bring those palms and fingers together and lower to heart center. Let's set an intention for our class today, a nice positive intention, something that you intend to accomplish. Maybe it's just turning on the television and taking a nice chair yoga class, or maybe it's something later on in the day that you want to accomplish. Whatever it is, it's for you. And let's go ahead and dedicate our practice to someone or something, someone who brings you positive energy, someone who fills you with joy. It could even be a pet, maybe it's your dog or a cat, something that when you think about, you just bring a smile to your face. So throughout your yoga practice, it's all filled with positive thoughts and positive energy. Nice full breath in, exhale. Let's go ahead and inhale those fingertips up, palms and fingers are together. We're gonna cross all of our fingers here, turn the palms up, exhale, lowering the hands down, pushing the palms forward as you do, keeping those arms engaged. Inhale, reaching those hands up. And exhale, lowering down. Connect to that exhale. So when your exhale ends, wherever the hands are, inhale those hands up. Connecting to the breath, and exhale, lowering down. Beautiful. Let's inhale those hands up. And this time we're just going to turn the palms so that they're facing each other. We're going to lower the right hand right down, the palms facing the chair, left fingertips are reaching up, and just go ahead and gaze up to that left thumb. On the inhale, just reach that left hand up a little bit more, gazing up, and then exhale, just soften and maybe lower that right hand down just a little bit. Inhale, left fingertip up, you're gazing up. So you're warming up the cervical spine here a little bit too, the neck, as you're gazing up. One more time, inhale, reaching up, and exhale, lowering that right hand down. Beautiful. Let's bring that right hand up now. Lower that left hand, palm facing the chair, fingertips reaching the earth. Gazing up now at that right thumb. Inhale, that right arm up. Nice and high. Exhale, that left fingertips come down. You're gazing up on those inhales. And exhales, lowering that left hand down. One more time. Inhale, reaching, keeping that arm nice and engaged. Exhale, lowering that left hand. Beautiful. Let's bring that left hand up. We're going to bring the hands together. Cross all the fingers. Turn those palms up. Exhale, lowering down again. Pushing those palms forward. Getting some nice rotation in the shoulders. Try not to keep the shoulders too close to the ears. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, lowering down. And this time, you're just gonna place your hands on your knees. Let's go ahead and find that nice, comfortable yoga seat. Shoulders stacked over the hips, spine is aligned, crown of the head is reaching up. We're gonna warm up the cervical spine a little bit more here, really important. The neck is very important to warm up. So gently turn to the right and pause, and center and pause, and to the left and pause. And just do that on your own a few times, nice and slow. We're guiding the neck, we're not forcing. Continuing to breathe, trying not to hold your breath. Beautiful. Let's gaze forward. We're going to continue to warm up the neck. This time, we're going to lower the right ear toward the right shoulder, gently guiding that right ear, not forcing. We're guiding the right ear toward that right shoulder. Try not to lift the shoulder up. Allow the right ear to lower toward the right shoulder. We're stretching out the left side of our neck here. Breathing in and out. Gentle breaths in and gentle breaths out. That exhale, we release tension, we soften, and then slowly start to roll the chin toward the chest, gently. And then we're gonna rise up. We're gonna gaze right up over our head. Don't go back further than that. And gaze forward. Great. So let's warm up the other side of the neck. We're gonna stretch out the right side by lowering the left ear toward the left shoulder. Breathing in and out, gentle breaths in, gentle breaths out. You may notice the left shoulder likes to rise up. See if you can keep that right shoulder and left shoulder balanced. Left ear, gently guiding it, nice, stretching out the right side. Exhale, lowering nice and slow, chin toward the chest, and then rolling the head back. Beautiful, nice and slow, don't force it, and gaze forward. Let's go ahead and bring those arms to a T. Turn those palms up. We're gonna realign the spine, reaching those fingertips up, and we're gonna take a twist here. So the hips are forward. We're twisting with the upper body only. So depending on the type of chair you have, you can bring that right hand behind you. You can hold on to the back of the chair. You can bring that left hand on the outside of the right knee, or you can go ahead and grab the seat of the chair, whatever is more comfortable for you. So move around a little bit, see what's comfortable. And we're guiding here, we're not forcing. You don't want to force yourself into this twist. So we're gonna inhale, bring in that positive energy breath. And on the exhale, release that breath and twist to the right. Nice, nice twist. Inhale and exhale. Just guide. I don't know, twist seems like an extreme word, but when I'm saying twist, I'm really just meaning you gently guide the body to the right, but we do call it a twist. Inhale one more time. And exhale, twist to the right, making sure the feet are nice and grounded, the hips are forward. We slowly come out of a twist, always, because the spine's in a lot of different positions. So when you come out, you want to do that slow. Bring the arms to a T. Bring the hands up. Let's realign the spine. You can gaze up if you like. And now we're gonna twist in the opposite direction. So it's hips forward, hips are forward, twisting with the upper body. So now that left hand is coming behind you. Again, grabbing whatever part of that chair is comfortable for you. If you can bring the left arm behind you and maybe reach the hand onto the seat, as long as that left hand is at the same level as your seat, that's great too. Right hand on the outside of that left leg or on the chair, whatever you're finding is comfortable. Inhale, lengthening that spine. And exhale, twisting to the left or guiding that upper body to the left. Again, it's guiding. You can, if you want, use that back hand to kind of guide yourself a little deeper. That's up to you. You really have to listen to your body. What is your body telling you? You know. If you're twisting and something doesn't feel right, don't go that deep. Listen to your body. This way, next time you practice, you may be able to go a little bit deeper. And keep in mind that every day is very different from the day before. One day you may find yourself coming in deep, and the next time you practice, you can't go there. That's good. That means you're listening to your body. Let's slowly come out. Inhale those hands up again. Let's cross all the fingers, turn those palms up. We're gonna rotate those shoulders again, slowly lowering down, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale up, and exhale, lowering the hands onto the knees. So now we're gonna do a little work with the legs. So finding yourself nice and grounded, shoulders are stacked over the hips, crown of the head is reaching up. Let's start by just lifting the left knee up, keeping the left foot flexed. Just as simple as that. Lowering the left foot down, lifting that left knee up, lowering that left foot down. Lift that right foot up, keep the right foot flexed. Lower the right foot down. You can put your foot on the block or on a book if you need a little bit of height to bring the earth closer. Right foot up and right foot down. Let's bring that left foot up again, lowering down. Left foot up, bringing that knee up, keeping that foot flexed, lower down. Right foot again, right foot flexed, lowering down. Right foot flexed and lowering down. We're going to do that again. Left foot up, left foot down, left foot up, left foot down. This time the left foot's coming up and we're going to extend that left knee with that foot flexed. Any discomfort in that left knee, don't extend the foot out. Listen to the body. Bring that knee in and lower the foot down. One more time, left knee up, extend that leg out, fold that knee and lower down. Same thing on the right side, right knee up, right foot flexed, lower down. Right knee up, right foot flexed, lower down. Right knee up, extend that right leg. Keep that foot flexed, that keeps that leg fully engaged. Bring that right knee in and lower down. And one more time, right knee up, extend that right leg out, bring that right knee in and lower down. Let's go ahead, bring those arms to a T, turn those palms up, realign that spine. We're gonna send that left hand up, right hand down, gaze at that left thumb, just like we did in the beginning of class. Reaching, nice stretch along the left side of the body. Breathing in and out, exhale, the right hand comes down, just a little, left fingertip up. Let's go ahead and bring that right hand up, lower that left hand down. Right hand reaching up, we're stretching the right side of the body, so know what we're doing. So when we're reaching that right hand up, there's a lot going on. We're trying to keep the spine aligned, and that's good for the lower back. We're stretching out the right side of the body. Left hand down, gazing at that right thumb. Let's go ahead and bring the hands together. We're gonna cross all the fingers on both hands except for the pointer fingers. Make sure that your seat is nice and balanced, and we're gonna slowly fold to the right. On the exhale, fold to the right, stretching out that left side. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, fold to the left. Stretching out that right side. If you find your right side's coming up, that means that you're going too deep. Just go. Don't go so deep that the right side of your seat's coming up. We're going to inhale. And one more time. Getting some nice stretch. Inhale, coming up. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, coming back. We're going to lower our hands right onto our seat. So you see how my hands are on the seat here? Just kind of inhale and gaze up. We're going to align the chest up toward the sky and slowly come forward into a forward fold. My feet are grounded. You come down as far as comfortable for you. If you're finding that it's difficult, you're having any lower back, especially with the lower back, don't go down so far. You can also bring your hands crossed onto your lap, just making sure that you're hinging from the hip and the spine is aligned. You can, if you have blocks, bring blocks onto your lap. And this is a really nice forward fold. It's helping you come into the forward fold. This is a technique we use also in restorative yoga, when you're using your props to come in deeper. If you're feeling like you can come in deeply, you can maybe even bring your hands to the back of the chair and slowly lower down. So wherever you're feeling connected, and then slowly, if your hands are on the back of the chair or on the seat, you can use those hands to pull you up. Guess what? Bring the arms to a T. Inhale those hands up. And now we're going to twist again. So we're going to twist to the right. Right hand on the outside, left hand on the outside of that right leg. That right hand comes behind you. Hips are facing forward. 1 or 2 breaths here. And back to center. Inhale the arms up. What's great about these twists though is you're actually massaging your inner organs, and it's actually good for the colon too. And exhale, twisting to the left. So now that left hand comes behind you and the right hand's on the outside of that left leg. Breathing through it. Oh, hi, this is our nice sun, town of North Hempstead. Inhale, and let's slowly come back to center. We're going to inhale those hands up and lower the hands onto the knees. So we're going to do a little bit more work now with the feet and with the legs. So I'm going to use blocks for this. We still need to find balance with our feet. So your feet should be flat on a surface. So if you have a book handy or if you're able to reach, we're just going to roll. We're going to roll onto the heels, and then we're going to roll onto the balls of the feet, and then roll back onto the heels, and then roll back onto the balls of the feet. And then slowly just kind of allow the feet to come to rest on the earth or on the blocks, and see if you can open the toes wide. See if you can spread the toes out a little bit. And let go. So we open the toes and exhale to release. Open the toes and exhale to release. If you get any cramps in your toes or this isn't comfortable, continue with the rolling of the feet. Nice. And then if your feet are on blocks, let's just move them out. We're going to come back to doing some leg stretches here. We're going to inhale that left foot up. See if you can open that left foot to the left side, that whole left leg. Bring it back and lower down. Let's inhale, same thing on the right side. See if you can open up with the hips forward, come back and lower down. Same thing again. Lift that left foot up. You can keep that left foot flexed. Open up, bring back and lower down. Same thing here. Lift that right knee up, open up and lower. Bring it in and then lower down. So I want you to kind of know what the difference is when you flex the foot, what happens to the leg. So I want you to just kind of extend your leg out just a little bit and kind of put your hands outside of your quads. And then flex the feet and notice what happens to your legs when your feet are flexed. You're engaging the muscle. When you're engaging the muscle and you're engaging the whole leg, you're strengthening. So this is a strengthening exercise here. You can point the feet and then flex the feet, keeping your hands on your quads the whole time. You should notice a difference in the quad muscles and actually all the muscles in your legs. Point and flex. Any cramping in the toes, you can always rotate too. Rotate the ankles. Taking some nice movement here and bring those knees in. Let's see if you can bring that left knee up. Maybe you can bring that left foot onto your chair. Maybe it's too high. If it is, then just kind of hold that left knee. So the left shin. So you've got both hands over that left shin, and the left foot is somewhat leaning or up on the seat. See if you can extend that right leg now, keeping that foot flexed, and just breathing through this. You don't want to put too much pressure, bringing that left shin in toward, because you don't want to over bend the left knee. So just kind of giving a little bit of support too with the both hands. If your left foot is somewhat in the air, like mine is, you can kind of squeeze that shin and bring it in. Bring it up. Kind of use the hands to help stretch out the legs and the hip. And kind of let go here. Bring that left foot down, lower. And now we're going to do the same thing with the right leg. So this is one of those exercises where you really kind of notice the difference between one side and the other. So go ahead and see if you can bring that right foot up on the chair. If it's not comfortable, or if you feel like me that the knee is just too tightly folded, you can just kind of allow the foot to just be in the air and use it, kind of like cupping your hands around the shin gently, supporting that right leg. So bringing that right knee up a little bit for stretch, and then extending that left foot forward. Keep flexing that left foot. Remember that quad muscle? Inhaling, beautiful here. And just taking a few breaths. It's called a winter reliever pose. And if we were on the mat reclining, we would be bringing the left knee behind us. So it's just a great stretch for the whole part of the legs reaching up to the hip. And we can just slowly bring that right leg down, soften the knees, and come on back down. Let's send both legs out together. Point and flex the feet. Point and flex the feet. Bring the knees in, up together, lower down. So when you're bringing the knees up, you should engage your core muscle. That's gonna, you might feel that a little bit. So if you've got your hands on your chair and you extend the legs out, flex the feet, inhale them up, engage the core and lower down. Extend the legs out, bring the knees in, engage the core and lower down. Let's go ahead and bring that left knee up again. We're gonna extend it out, bring it in and lower down. Same thing on the right side. Bring that right knee in. Up, bring it up as high as you think you can. Extend that right leg out. Bring it in and lower down. Let's do both together. Engage the core here, lower core especially. Extend, bring in and lower down. Nice. Let's again find that comfort in the seat here. Take a nice full breath in and a slow exhale, letting go. Beautiful. Bring those arms to a T. Inhale those hands up. Let's one more time. Cross all the fingers, palms up toward the sky. Exhale, lowering down, pushing those palms forward, lowering down. When the arms are engaged like the legs, we too are, we're strengthening here. So inhale, rising up, and exhale, lowering down. Inhale. And exhale, lowering the hands onto the fingers. So one of the exercises we're going to do is we're going to do a warrior one seated on the chair. So it can be a little bit tricky, just to make sure that, like we were saying before, Sliding forward isn't going to tip your chair. We're not going to slide all the way forward, so we're just going to slide a little bit forward, okay? And kind of twisting toward the end. So turning to the right, grab onto the back of the chair. You're going to send your left foot back and your right foot forward. So you see my right knee is over my right ankle. It's over the chair, centered on the chair. The left foot is back. You can go ahead and pivot a little bit on the ball of the left foot. So it kind of is angled a little bit, or whatever is comfortable the way that left foot lands. We're going to bring our hips are forward. We're going to bring our hands up into warrior one. We're going to lower that left hand and gaze toward the right thumb, gazing up. I'm holding on to my chair here. So, you know, if you feel you need to hold on to your chair, if you're too far to the edge, please slide yourself back. One more breath. Let's bring that left hand to meet the right. And we're just going to slowly come out to face forward. So bringing that left knee forward, sliding that right foot. Let's realign the spine before we do warrior one on the opposite side. Nice stretch. Beautiful. Exhale. And now let's come into warrior one on the opposite side. So now I've got my left foot. Left knee is over the left ankle. My right foot's coming behind me, kind of a little bit angled. Whatever feels right, you can extend that right leg back. Listen to the body. So whatever you do standing in warrior one is very different from when you're doing it on the chair. Inhale, lower that right hand, gaze at that left thumb, maybe hold on to the chair. One more breath, right hand meets the left. And let's find our way back to center. Right leg, right knee, left leg comes over. Inhale those hands up. And lower the hands to heart center. Let's take a nice full positive breath in here. And a slow exhale as we come toward the end of this practice. So let's inhale the hands up. Palms facing down, lowering down. And inhale the hands up, nice and slow. Exhale, lowering the hands down. And inhale, bringing those hands up again, nice and slowly, palms and fingers together, and lowering to heart center. I would like to thank you all for tuning in to virtual beach chair yoga today. My name is Rebecca. If you have any questions, if you want more information on any of the programming with Project Independence, you can always call the town at 311 or 869-6311. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the class. I hope that you all tune in again. Have a wonderful, wonderful, safe day. Namaste.
I hope that you had a great time joining us for this week's virtual FunDay Monday. I, along with our town board, our receiver of taxes, and our town clerk, thank you for allowing us to join you in your homes, on your TVs, and on your computers. We hope to see you again next week.